All right. Now what we want is whenever we press this button, then instead of showing this statement on the terminal, you should actually see a new label right on your JFrame. So all you have to do is you have to remove, you can just comment this line, and what you want is you want to add a label here and show it on your frame. Right? So we can create a new J label here. J label L equals to new J label button pressed, right? And now you need to add this J label to your frame. So as you see, your frame is F. So let me do F dot add L. If you want, you can set the bounds of this label. Say F dot set bounds and give it some value which is different from all the previous values. Let's say this, not F dot set bounds, my bad, L dot set bounds. Yep, so I think that's all. And let's see, Mr. Semicolon. Now I see a different error. It says I cannot find the symbol F. Right? So when you say F dot add L, it raises an error that I can't find the symbol F. You see, why is that happening? Because all of these are three different functions. So one function is your main, another is your action performed here, another is your constructor, which is also a function, which is my first GUI. Now you would know that inside a function, whatever variable you create, that has a local scope. So the moment you go out of this constructor, this F does not exist. This F, JFrame F exists only inside this constructor. Therefore, when you are trying to add L to this F, this function action performed, it doesn't know what is F. So how do we resolve that problem? It's actually very simple. So you sort of need to make this F something like a global variable. How you can do that? So instead of defining this JFrame F inside the constructor, you just define it outside, just like a data member. So what you can do it, you make it JFrame F. So the moment you create an object of this class, a JFrame F will come into existence, and all you do inside the constructor is this. So I just made a small change to this code. Move this JFrame outside so that it remains accessible to all the functions of this class. And yeah, so let's press here and uh, nothing is happening. So let's check. Maybe some overwriting is happening or something else. So let me just also take this. So, or this was working. So this is 350, 150. Are we overlapping with something? Okay, 350 becomes too much towards the right side. So let's make it 50, 350. Let's just try. Yes. I don't see any label coming up. Let me see if it is getting called correctly. So button pressed is coming, but I don't see that label. So here is a place where we can try to resolve it on our own or take help from our friend. So before that, we can do one thing. So I am guessing that there is some kind of overlapping happening between all these components. So what I'm going to do is for some time, I'm going to remove this. So I'm only going to keep the button here and the label and the text field. I'm removing it for some time so that I can clearly see what is happening on the screen. And let's make its position 150. It will come at exactly the same place where our label was coming previously. Okay, so it's actually not happening. Something is going wrong. Otherwise, the label should have come here. and that's where even I'm thinking what went wrong. So J label equals to new label f dot add L. Okay, so here we do not know what went wrong. So here is probably maybe the first time where we can take help from ChatGPT and ask it. So you have to tell it the exact problem what you are facing. So you can say in the below code when we press the button, the label is not appearing on the frame. What's wrong? And give it the code. See, so it says that J label is added to the frame inside the action perform method. Uh, but it's not appearing on the frame. This is because after adding the label, the frame needs to be updated to show the new component. So you need something like a refresh over here, right? You have added. So initially, you see what you did here. So you should understand what ChatGPT is saying. So you created a frame over here, you added a lot of components and you set it visible. So whatever was on the frame that came over here. Now you are changing something on the frame here, adding a new component over here. So you need to refresh it. Very much like how you do it for other applications. Sometimes to see the changes, you need to refresh it. And the command to do that here is actually revalidate and repaint. That's all. So you should just add these two lines and that should do it. If you don't want to change the frames layout, only you want to see the new level, you can just simply add f dot repaint here. And yeah, so that's how you should be using ChatGPT, not to generate the entire code, but you can use it for debugging purposes and for asking it a few things. So when you press it, you see now your label comes over here. The point is when you press it over and over again and again, more labels are going to be added over here itself. That's all because the location is the same. You can change the location every time. That's a question in your assignment that you are going to do. But yeah, essentially, this is that. We have just one last video where I'll show you if you have multiple buttons and you want to do different things with them, how do you just change this code? This is just two, three more lines of code. And after that, you can start solving your lab assignment.